Alright folks, welcome back. This is Balatro every day, and today I have a trade offer. I receive your seed, and you receive questionable advice. Abdul wanted us to try using jokers we don't normally use. I'll put the seed in the video description so you can try it yourself. And when you're ready, let's go gold stake painted deck. -1 hand size boss. We can already play an ace high straight. That's kind of cute. Okay, drunkard is something I often like to take later on, maybe right now. If I don't need it, maybe I shouldn't buy it, and then that way I can save my money for interest. Playing on the painted deck with the extra 2 hand size, this extra enabler, this extra discarding to set up your hands is unnecessary. We can already pretty reasonably get our 5 card hands. One thing I'm thinking about if I'm playing on the plasma deck, you can beat the first 5 rounds without any jokers, without that much trouble. So on the plasma deck, I don't usually buy the buffoon pack. I think the buffoon pack has a really high chance of missing on the plasma deck. It'll just give you stuff that you don't care about on the plasma deck. If you're playing on the checker deck, you only have the 2 suits. You have hearts and spades. And again there, because you have only the 2 suits, you can very reliably get those flushes, sometimes those 300 point flushes, sometimes 280 point flushes. You can very reasonably beat the first 4 rounds without buying any jokers. On the checker deck, maybe it makes sense to not buy the buffoon pack also there. Painted deck, I think, is not as strong. +2 hand size helps, but it's not as strong as the checker deck effect. And so maybe I do want the buffoon pack. Definitely no danger here with this boss, or even the one boss that makes you discard random cards. That would also be fine, probably. But we take the buffoon pack anyway. Okay, could take Wrathful Joker, could take Fibonacci. Probably Fibonacci here. This is one that we don't play with a lot because it's an uncommon. It just doesn't show up a lot. And when it does show up, maybe if you're only playing pairs, if you're only playing 2 cards, then the +60 mult is not very strong. It can be good enough early on. But if you're playing a full 5 card hand, that's going to be +40 mult on your full house. Fibonacci is insanely powerful. The numbers are just off the charts, right? Assuming that we play those higher ranking hands, those hands that have more cards. Maybe if we are playing on the painted deck, this is a deck where you can more consistently get 2 pair, you can more consistently get 3 of a kind, full house, maybe straights or something like that. So definitely we can make this work. Already another ace high straight. Again. Okay, probably blank is too expensive this early. If I had the money, I would take it, but I don't really have extra money. I still want to save my money for interest. We can take Riffraff as a value generator and then not open these booster packs, saving our money. Let's go next. Okay, between the 2 of these, Clever Joker is probably better than Wily. With Clever Joker, you can probably get 2 pair twice more safely than you can get 3 of a kind at all. So 3 of a kind one time versus playing 2 pair twice is 2 pair twice is going to score more points. We can sell Wily Joker and then get an extra $1 of interest. We could also sell Clever Joker here because we have Fibonacci so powerful. We actually don't need Clever Joker here. I can just play the 2 pair. Sure. Okay, $15 in the bank. For sure, with the Riffraff here, we don't need Clever Joker. Just double checking the boss here. Play 1 hand, that should be fine. So if we don't need Clever Joker, we can sell it. Now with $17 in the bank, do we take an Arcana pack? I think the answer is sometimes. I think if I have Telescope, maybe the answer is no. If we open the Arcana pack, we get rewarded if there's Hermit. We get punished if there's Temperance. There's a couple other things that we could get. You could get a gold card, you could get some lucky cards. Those will pay off long term, but maybe in the short term might hold us back from getting the telescope. So let's not open the Arcana packs. Some consideration for picking up Northern Line here. Even as a perishable, gaining $3 worth of value every round is good, but playing on the painted deck, we have less Joker slots. Maybe it's better to just get more Jokers off the riffraff. Let's go next, saving our money for the telescope. All right, Fortune Teller we for sure don't need. That's $3. Todd here we don't need, but I guess we don't have to sell it. Knowing that there's a telescope in the shop, let's try to go for the straight. Okay. I can play an ace high straight. So for the record, with the telescope in the shop, I think the safest, the best plan is probably play 2 pair on the painted deck. So the reason we play pairs on other decks is because of how consistently, easily spammable the pairs are. On the painted deck with the extra hand size, maybe 2 pair is the next spammable hand. I think 2 pair is really good, especially with so much mult from Fibonacci. You've got the 4 cards for the 2 pair. You get the 20 chips per Uranus card. But I'm going to try playing straights because I have a lot of fun doing that. And I don't usually get to do that on Gold Stake. Okay. I don't need a rental Ancient Joker. I don't need Andrew as a perishable. I could take a Buffoon pack here, could take a Standard pack here, probably Buffoon pack here. Okay, well, I'm not taking Golden Joker as a rental. Fortune Teller we don't really want either. With the riffraff here, we can either take 1 or 2. I think I don't need Todd. I think if we have the telescope and Fibonacci again here, I don't need Todd. Let's go next. Saving our money for that telescope. We get a banner, we get Shoot the Moon. So I want to play a straight for that telescope value. Okay. Banner plus Fibonacci is going to be really safe going into this boss. Any pair we play will automatically win. There's that Todd again. Okay, so we definitely want the telescope. We don't need Shoot the Moon. We probably have enough money, could go Standard pack here. Getting a blue jack rather than a gold seal. Take the blue seal. Gold seal ace, of course, good with Fibonacci. Gold seal in general, good with pairs and 2 pair. But gotta take the blue seal. Now, do we want this banner? I think we don't need it. I think Fibonacci, if you just get 2 pair, aces, 2s, 3s, 5s, or 8s, that's already 32 mult is 1,000 points, no problem. We also get Steven here. We've got crazy jokers. So worst case scenario, you play 2 pair and then it wins. We can try to get this straight, knowing that it's not necessary. All we got to do is draw a 5. Okay. So we can play a 6 high straight. That's it. Okay. Saturn, sure. Then what? Could be a foil banner. One more round on the riffraff. Do I need this foil? Boss says first hand face down. I don't think I need the foil. Let's go. Celestial pack is guaranteed Saturn. And Spectral pack. So could be Onk if you want Fibonacci twice. I think I just hex here. We miss out on riffraff value if we hex, but maybe that's okay. I'm not passing on this opportunity. All right, now do we want the banner? Do we need the banner? I don't think we need the banner. It is perishable. As long as we get any straight, it's probably fine without the banner. I could re-roll here, maybe. 36 bucks, yeah, we can go one more. Could be to-do list on full house. Maybe, let's go next. All right, if I play a full house, the full house might win, which we don't want. I'd rather get the blue seal value, so let's try to get the low straight. I would need a 5 specifically. I could keep the kings. I could discard this way, and then maybe we get the full house. Let's just go for the low straight. Okay. I don't need all the Fibonacci cards. All I need is the 5. Okay. So deciding here we want the blue seal value instead of the to-do list value. That's fine. Okay. If we had drawn differently, I could have gone for the full house. Now to-do list on 3 of a kind. Let's use the Saturn card. Go next. Okay, could take Michelle. Could take Smiley Face. These are guaranteed Saturn, so I think we take them. Alright, we got some momentum. Yeah, almost always we take Michelle. I guess one consideration, if I take Michelle plus the foil, is maybe too strong. Though makes us safe going into this boss. Maybe that's something that I want. Alright, I have a straight with an 8. This hand wins. I can play the straight and it wins. I could try to get 3 of a kind. I could try to get the blue seal. Missing on the blue seal is fine. Missing on the 3 of a kind is fine. Let's just play the straight. Get me out of here. Alright. To-do list on pairs. I've played 7 straights. I might play some pairs. I definitely want the observatory. It takes me down to 18 bucks. Do we also take the Arcana pack? The answer is probably yes. We go Arcana pack first, see if we get Hermie. No Hermie, but we can hang him. So I guess with Fibonacci, I like playing the low straights. Ace, 2, 3, and 5. So maybe it makes sense 9 and Jack, we hang them. Though some consideration for if I have the blue seal Jack, maybe I'm supposed to play around the face cards. Maybe I'm supposed to make extra jacks and extra 10s and extra queens and do the face cards and maybe just sell Fibonacci. We already have pretty high level straight. Usually that's what I would advise. I would say if you have the blue seal, then you want to build around the blue seal rather than building around the jokers that you have. And so maybe what you want to do is do jack high straights. So maybe jack through 7 or something like that. Build around the mid-range. And then that leaves you open to getting a photograph in the future. Photograph, of course, is a common joker. But let's try using jokers that we don't normally use. Observatory, fine. Let's go next. All right, we got some face down cards. I guess I will... It doesn't matter what flavor of straight we play, so maybe let's start by discarding the low cards. All right, I could play a pair of 8s. If I play the pair of 8s, that seems too strong. Maybe. I have almost a straight. I would need a 2 for a straight. I could have possibly discarded a 2 and not know about it. I could try to get a jack for a straight, of which we have 4 jacks. I think I play the 8s and then go for the low straight. I guess if I do this, I could draw either the jack or the 2. Let's try that. Maybe it doesn't matter, maybe we just win. I can play this straight. Okay. Maybe because of the to-do list, we should have just played... If we could play pairs, maybe we should have just played pairs. Yeah, probably. Alright, 2 perishables we don't need, 2 celestial packs we can take. And we get a blank. Probably this time we want to save our money for the blank. Alright, 2 celestial packs takes me down to 20 bucks. Go next. Maybe we can get 3 of a kind. Maybe. 3 aces. Looking for... We could get a 7 or a 2. 3 aces. Maybe doesn't win. Close. Okay. And then, if I play the 3 threes, it definitely wins. Maybe we try to get the blue seal value. Alright, 6 high straight, that's fine. No blue seal. If we didn't draw the blue seal, then it makes sense to play the 3 of a kind for the money. Alright, what was this boss? This boss is face down cards. Okay. To do this on full house. Not likely to happen. Could take the mail-in rebate. I definitely want the celestial pack. Okay, so almost always if we take the mail-in rebate, extra hand size makes the mail-in rebate better, but now we are playing on the painted deck, so we only have 4 joker slots. To-do list for full house is possible. I think doing the rebate and the to-do list at the same time is difficult. So let's not try to do both. Let's take the juggler instead. Juggler, extra hand size makes rebate better. No standard pack because I want to wait for this blank voucher, or is the rebate going to give me enough money? Rebate on 8s, probably that's fine. I get a glass 3. I think glass 3 is fine, since we do want the low straights. We'll see. Alright, so I have a winning straight. What we can do is we can play ace high and then just dig for 8s and then dig for the blue seal. Alright, I can discard 1 8. I could play a pair of 7s first. Okay, I can discard these 8s. I don't need this glass 3. Don't need this 7. So this is what I mean by the juggler making the rebate better. I can hold on to a winning hand, an entire 5-card hand, and still at the same time discard all of this. I can play 9 as a high card. I guess I don't want to play high card too many times. Then discard the 3s and rebate the last 8. Alright, did not get the blue seal. That's completely fine. Yum. Okay, Celestial Pack, yes. Get a Saturn card. For sure we want the blank voucher. Maybe considering taking a free reroll here instead of the hand size, or maybe we don't really need Michelle. Let's go Arcana. Hermie and a death card. Okay, so I think the 10 I can turn into a blue seal. We can go Hermie first and then pick up another blue seal here. And then do we want this free reroll? I think we don't need Michelle. Take a Cartomancer. I think I like having the hand size. I think I don't need the free reroll. Take a Cartomancer. Go one more. All right. So here's the thing to think about when you are playing straights. Whether or not you have the telescope, whether or not you have the blue seals. If you are playing straights, straights score a lot of points. All you need is the one straight, and then it wins the round. And so from your jokers, you don't necessarily need a lot of points. From your jokers, you can rely on glass cards and steel cards for points. What you want from your jokers is, if I don't draw my straight, I lose. If I draw the straight, I win. So I want jokers that are going to enable me to play straights. So Juggler is an example of that. Troubadour, which gives you the +2 hand size, is an example of that. Cartomancer is another example of, just generic tarot cards, deck building. You could use that to help you enable your straights, or you could use that to help enable other different stuff too. Anyway, go next. All right, we have a tower. We have rebate on 4s. Maybe I try to play a straight with an 8. With the rebate, I probably want to turn the jack into a rock. Maybe. So with the rebate, it picks a random card in your deck, and if you turn stuff into stone, then the rebate won't pick that card. And so I don't want rebate to pick my jack, so I can turn this one into stone. Maybe. Rebate 4's probably fine. I need to get a 9 here. I'm probably not going to do the ace. I don't have that many 9s. Maybe I shouldn't go for the 9. Maybe I shouldn't rebate all of the 4s. What's this? If I sort by suit, it's definitely hearts, which means it's either a 6 or a 5 of hearts. So, all right, instead of going for the 9, let's discard the 8s. I think we discard the 8s. Okay, I've got a 9 here. I've got some face down stuff here. This, again, we already know it's either a 6 or a 5. Let's go fish. Alright, so I've got 9, 8, 7, 6, which means this has to be the 5 of hearts. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if we want to play that straight. If I discard the 4, I already have the 5. I could discard this way, and then try to get another blue seal in hand. If not... Okay, so we could play this straight. I could play a pair of 2s as a way of digging for the blue seal. I don't think that's necessary. 26 cards in the deck. I guess if I play 2 hands, I get to see 10 more cards. Pretty good chance. Pretty good chance of getting the draw. So maybe play the pair. There's the 5 of hearts that we knew was under there. All right. Try one more time. We miss, and that's okay. We just play the 9 high straight. Should be only 1 because of the polychrome. Alright, the last card I used was Death, so maybe I don't use Saturn yet. Maybe we could get a Fool. 2 Arcana packs, there could be a Fool in here. Could be Clearance Sale. So the only reason not to use Clearance Sale is if I get Temperance, then I miss out. The value goes down. So let's see here. If we do get Temperance, it's like 13 bucks. Would we do a Temperance? I think I wouldn't do a Temperance. So we can take the Clearance Sale and then go Arcana. Devil. Yeah, probably we make a gold card. So let's go Saturn and then make a gold card. Arcana 2 takes us down to 29 bucks, is fine. I don't think we reroll here. We do get the Temperance, so we get slightly punished for taking the voucher. But that's okay. We also got a discount from taking the voucher. I do want Temperance, and then with Justice we can make a glass card. So, if I'm gonna make a glass card, probably glass aces. And then that way if we break aces, we can still play sixes. So let's go glass ace. And then go next. Or we got temperance, so we probably can reroll here. There's that photograph I said you could build around, plan around. We won't because we don't need to. I think taking the boots is not unreasonable either, but once again, the straights already score enough points. We don't need the boot. Go next. All right, we don't need a star. Because we got the Saturn card, because we got the level up, previously we had 24,000, now we can definitely hit 25,000. I want to rebate my 8s. Maybe I play 2 pair first and try to dig for a 4. With the extra hand size, I feel very comfortable digging. So I can play a pair of 6s. I think I want to play a pair of 10s like that. Yeah, play the pair of 10s. All right, I have the ace. I think we don't play the ace. I think we rebate the 8s now. There we go. Glass 3 we don't need. I can rebate another 8. I can play ace high first. I can play something like this to get rid of the queen. 2 blue seals in deck. All right. 2, 3. We can discard 6, 8 queen. Didn't get the blue seals. That's okay. This is going to be slightly more because we have an extra Fibonacci card. Next round, we don't have the 37. So in order to get the 37, we need to play at least 1 glass. Or just get 2 Saturn cards. I guess we could take a black hole. All right, so now we have 37,000. As long as we play the low straight, I don't know if the high straight does it. Could take a justice card. Definitely justice, sell star. We have money we could reroll. The reason I'm not going to reroll, I have tarot card 1. I have Cardomancer is going to give me a second tarot card, so let's just go next. We might want to save up some money for this boss. I always forget to do that, but you might want to save up some money for this boss. Rebate on 6s. Okay. How about we need a 3 or else we lose. I can play a pair of 8s. Okay. I could play ace high like that. And then discard the 6s. Alright, so we got the 3. We have the winning hand. We can rebate the 6s. I can discard the 4 and the 2. I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, what do we want to make in the glass? We have a glass ace. We have a glass 3. We can make a glass 2. I guess if I have a 2 in hand, I don't want to play the glass card. Maybe we make a glass 5 instead. If I make a glass 5, how about lucky 4 and 3? And then glass 5. Play this straight. Alright, no lucky activations there, but we can hit 50,000 with just the leveled up straights. Keep climbing. One more round on the rebate. We have Emperor, Devil, and Chariot. Both of those probably good. Standard pack probably we miss. I don't think I'd take a gold 10. Celestial pack, another Saturn card because of the telescope. We can reroll a little bit here. I guess against this boss, maybe we don't want to get too spendy. Supernova is plus 12 currently on straights. If we're only playing 1 straight per round, it's not going to get very big. Foil is strong, but maybe unnecessary. Noting here that the rebate says rebate on 2s. Do we rebate the 2s? Probably not. Probably we sell the rebate here. Probably we don't need this supernova. Alright, do I want an Emperor or do I want a Chariot? If I am playing straights, I think the steel cards are compelling. I think the gold cards are compelling. But I do think I could possibly do better with the Emperor. Maybe. Okay, go one more. There we go. You could take a Hungman. And whatever off the Cartomancer. Maybe spin the wheel. Alright. So we can for sure get a straight. The question is, how much is it going to cost me? Is there a straight that's easier to get than others? Probably what I want to do, probably 10 and 9, we can hang them. And then we can discard. Looking for a 5. Okay, so we do get the straight. And then I can discard one more time. Alright, we know the straight wins because we got 3 levels since the last time we checked. And then that 60,000 also wins the next round. Alright, the last card I used was the Hung Man, so maybe we don't go Saturn yet. There could be a Fool in here. Alright. Sure, let's check. No Fool, but there's a Strength card. So I do like the idea of turning a King into another Ace instead of spinning the wheel here. And then we can take another Celestial pack. We can check out the boss, says no discards. So do a little shopping. I don't need a stencil. I don't need the Swashbuckler, don't need the trio. Let's go next. Lovers. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. With only one Fibonacci card, I think that doesn't win. Which maybe we want that on purpose. Maybe we play that on purpose, trying not to win. I'm just gonna go dig for the one straight that I know works. Let's throw away the pair of 7s. Alright, I'm looking for a 5. So let's play 2 pair. We have the extra hand size. We have only 50 cards in the deck. We can throw away all of these 6s, no problem. Alright. We have a winning straight. We have no reason to discard further. Make room for the blue seals. Alright, haven't hit on any of the lucky cards. We went up from 60k to now 70k. Alright. I did use a Saturn card, so it's safe to use these. We have the telescope. Sorry, not the telescope, but we have the observatory, but we don't need it. 2 Arcana packs here. This boss could be a little bit spooky. Maybe. No discards? Maybe. Let's do some re-rolling. Maybe go one more. Take a Golden Joker. Golden Joker for sure, and then Arcana. Getting slightly punished. Judgment here. If there's Temperance, you get rewarded for buying Golden Joker, but since there's Judgment, we get punished. We could spin the wheel instead. I think it doesn't super matter here. Could spin the wheel, could use the Empress. Never lucky either way. Now we get punished. Fool could have been a Saturn card, but we spun the wheel instead. I think that's okay because I want to take Justice instead anyway. 10 bucks here, could be Emperor. I think Justice is fine. So we have Glass Ace, Glass 3, Glass 5, maybe Glass 2. and then go next. All right, Hermie, yes. I have a glass too. What I don't know is, do we need the glass too? And the answer is probably we don't need it. I guess if I am going to play any glass card, I'd probably play a glass 5. I think the 5 is... No, the 2 is safer to break. Because if we lose the 5, then it's going to be hard for us to get 6, 5, 4. If we lose the 2, we can still get 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So we want to throw away the 5. We want to keep the... We want to play the 2. Alright. Assuming that we need glass, which maybe we don't need glass, I want to try to dig for my other blue seal. Okay. 9, 8. Throw away the 5. Throw away the glass 3. And then play the glass 2. Okay, kings. And then I can throw away another 3. Okay. One more time. Alright, ace, 5, 4, 3, 2. What's nice about the 2s is I don't have to change the order of my hand. So with the plus 20 that wins, without the plus 20 also wins. Good thing to know. Last card we used was Justice. Could be Luchador against this boss. It's only 2 discards, but maybe we want that instead of Golden Joker. Let's go standard pack first. Could be another blue seal. Could be a blue 10. I think makes sense. I want the spectral pack. Maybe I go Saturn's first. Reroll for tarot cards. No vampire because we are going to do glass cards. Okay, could be cryptid. Probably more blue seals. Alright, let's go next. Priestess, maybe. Alright, I have a straight. No glass. I'm gonna assume this doesn't win. I don't want to do the math, so I'm gonna assume it doesn't win. Knowing that doesn't win, let's try to dig for a glass card. Okay, so we got the glass 5 that we can play. Probably we play the glass 5. Maybe discard like this. I shouldn't have thrown away those 6s, but it's okay. We get rewarded by drawing the ace, which means I don't need the 5, which is an improvement. I do have the blue seal in hand now, so probably we fire it off now. And then we don't need to use the luchador. So here's a straight with a glass ace. Alright, so glass gets us to 200,000. Next round might not need the glass. If it's only 110,000, might not need the glass. This boss, face down after played. Could take a red seal 3. Which maybe I wouldn't normally do, but if I have the Cartomancer, I can make a red steel 3, I can make a red glass 3. I have Arcana, we can reroll. Venus, no. Vampire again, we don't need. We can hang him. So, could be 10s and 8s, we hang him. And then play those low straights. Alright. Again, for the record, if you do want to play straights, focusing on the low end is bad. Focusing on the top end is bad. You should focus on the middle and remove the outside cards. But if you think about it, there's only 2 straights that use an ace. There's only 2 straights that use a king, but there's a lot of straights that involve a 9. And so you should build around 9s and 10s and 7s rather than building around aces or 2s or kings. But because we are doing Fibonacci, trying to do the fun thing. Anyway, that's why we don't have any 10s or 9s anymore. Luchador, I have enough rounds. I could use it against this boss. This boss is actually kind of annoying. We can't use our hands as discards, so probably use the Luchador against that boss. Empress, we definitely don't need. We could just use it. Maybe we end up getting... Very rarely you get the driver's license. Definitely don't need judgment. Okay. Here I'm thinking I don't need the glass cards. After the recent upgrades that we got, I think we don't need the glass cards. And we also have these molt cards. So discard like that. Blue seals in hand. I could try to dig for another 2. I could just ship it. We get mega punished if the 2 breaks. Alright. We chillin'. The last tarot card I used was Empress. I guess... Okay, with the glass card there, we did too much. Alright, but I think here I do need the glass to hit 160. Could take another ace. Could take a steel card. Is pretty good with our level 26 straights. Already 79 molt. But it's another jack. We already have so many jacks from these blue seals. Alright, don't need the photograph. Not impossible, by the way. We still have 2 10s. Could play not impossible, but very difficult. Justice is okay. And then Arcana. So we've gotten 3 levels since the last time we checked. I could use Justice here, and then Cartomancer has a chance of giving me another one. I could save Justice for the red seal, is probably what we want to do. I have... Lucky 4, Lucky 3, maybe I make Lucky 2, Lucky 5. Though probably doesn't matter. Go next. I feel very rewarded for taking this juggler, extra hand size. Tower we probably don't care about. I could make another rock. I could turn a queen into a rock. Anyway. Let's play 1 straight. Alright. I'm looking for, looks like, no matter what happens, I need a 5. If I get the 5, I don't need the 8. Okay, we get the 5. Throw away the 4. We can discard purple. Cool. So I can make 2 more glass cards if I want. I could use the Fool on the red seal. Here we said we are okay breaking the ace. So, well, I have to play the 5. That feels bad. I would really prefer not to break a 5. Alright. Do I want to use the Fool for some glass cards? Probably that's fine. And then hope the 5 doesn't break. Yes. Alright, so we just made some glass cards. If we get a Fool, probably don't need to use the Fool to copy Justice, though maybe for the red seal. The red seal can also become steel, that's an option. Alright, Jack, nope. Maybe you could take a 5 there. There's another Saturn card. Do I want an extra discard? I would say generally yes. I would say if it wasn't this boss is kind of scary. If it wasn't this boss, I would take the discard, sell Luchador, take a discard. Maybe I want the discard instead of the hand size is actually kind of tempting. Yes. Probably we don't need Fibonacci anymore, but it is polychrome. We could go one more here. I think I just go next. All right, Hyro we for sure don't need. Let's start with, let's just deal with this right now. And then that way I can play the queens and throw away one of the 3s. Okay. Of all of my glass cards, I have 2 glass 3s, I have 2 glass aces. So I want to play a glass 3. That's it. I want to play a glass 3. These 3s I want to get rid of. Okay. I want to avoid the glass 5 if possible. I want to avoid the glass 2 if possible. Maybe not possible. My telescope still straights my most played hand. Okay, so I don't need the 5. I don't need this 4. I don't need to play the 2 anymore. I don't need this extra blue seal. And then we draw purple. Strength. Okay. Strength is nice to take into the final round because it means I can't miss my straight, right? We can use the strength to fill. Let's discard. I would like to turn a 3 into a 4 if possible. Maybe not possible. Maybe that's okay. Maybe strength is not important. I can make some bonus cards, which is also not important. We already know this wins with the 1 glass. Okay. So without the glass would not have won, but with the glass it does. Once again, we do have the observatory, so I could be holding the Saturn cards instead of using them. We did it. This boss, shuffle me Jimbos. All right. We get the juggler. Okay. Don't need a glass 8. Probably we don't take the purple seal this late. We just skip. All right, business card we don't need. Baron is interesting. I guess we got nothing else going on. Might as well take Baron. Could take superposition. The problem with superposition is I have so many blue seals. This will block my blue seals. If I didn't have blue seals, superposition would be fine. But maybe it's kind of late to where the superposition doesn't matter anymore. Baron's okay. Baron turns my 3 kings into steel. Now I have 3 steel cards in my deck. Could be Emperor. Probably we want a death card. I can make a glass 5. Now we have more of those. Go next. Hermie. Sure. All right. Here with the extra Saturn cards, I think with a king, no glass. So let's try that. All right. Okay, so I got a fancy 3. Let's try not playing the 3. We can do a pair of 6s. Since we made a glass 5, it's probably okay to play a glass 5. I don't need a glass ace. So we might play the glass 5, we might not play the glass 5. We're definitely not going to play the 3. Judgments. I don't have room. Okay, I don't need to play the 2. I do have a king, which means I don't need the glass card anymore. I can play this straight. If we play this straight, it's a straight flush, which that would be bad. And then with the king, this wins. Cool. And then that wins the next round also. Let's see here. We just used a hermit. Don't need Michelle. Don't need a glass 10. Arcana we can reroll first. There's another photograph. Makes me laugh. Could take a blue joker. Sure. So... Yeah, I guess maybe we don't need Fibonacci anymore. Okay, Chariot, I can make a steel king, could be. Go next. Strength and a death card. Alright. Glass aces we discard. I can do that. Queen and jack, I can strengthen one queen into a king. I can use death on the steel king would be best. Copying a glass card would also be fine. Let's keep the glass 5 until we don't need it anymore. I can play high card. Alright, the 3s, 3 and 4, we can make some bonus cards. But really, we don't want those. Alright. We have a winning hand. I'm just trying to get the steel card to copy with death. So, play the high card queen. There's the steel cards. So, I can turn a 9 into a king. And then that's it. Maybe I still want to get a 5. Okay. Ace. There we go. Alright. 2 Saturn cards. We did just use a death card. We can save the Saturn cards for the observatory. There's a shortcut. This boss says shuffle me Jimbos. Alright. I don't need judgment, so let's go here. Death card. No glass. That's kind of funny. I guess I can turn a queen into purple. I could think about, okay, I have low 4s, low on 2s. Maybe I use the death card to make either a 4 or a 2. Maybe 2. Probably doesn't matter. Alright. There we go. Shuffle me Jimbos. So there's a 3, there's a 4. We can discard. There's a queen. I don't need the blue seal anymore. It's a shame the red seal didn't really come together for us. Alright. There's a 2. There's a 5. I don't need the jack. Played this slightly wrong. I guess I'm not doing the purple seal if I'm doing the observatory, right? We can play the foil ace. Foil ace is kind of powerful, I guess. If you want, throw away the glass 5. All right, ace 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like we drew it up. All right. I love it when you get a shortcut and it enables you to do a straights run. I love playing straights. It makes each individual round more interesting when you're thinking about my discard strategy and how I'm going to draw my straights. I'm going to draw my straights while at the same time holding on to my steel cards, while at the same time holding on to my gold cards. It's really fun to be able to do this. Level 35 pairs, you know, perfectly fine, perfectly powerful, but the straights are going to have twice as many chips, 30 chips instead of 15 chips. It's going to have 3 times as much molt, 3 molt instead of 1 molt. So here already 100 times 1,000, that's 100,000 points on the straight. And then if you go maybe 1 glass card, that's 200,000 points. 2 glass cards, that's already 300 or 400,000 points, enough to beat the final boss. Maybe if you need to beat the Violet Vessel, you add in another glass card, you add in another steel card or something like that. Instead of playing multiple straights, figure out exactly how much do I need. So there was a lot of that kind of calculation in this run. Obviously, the blue seals did a lot of work. Obviously, the telescope did a lot of work for us, but get a gauge, get an understanding of how much does one big hand score? How much does one straight score? How many glass cards do I need on top of that? Do I need the ×2? Do I need to play 2 straights separately? Do I actually have the ability to play 2 straights separately? Do I need to play a specific straight, whether that's a Fibonacci straight or it could be some other kind of straight? I'm looking for, with my straights build, I'm looking for things like extra hand size, things like extra discards, extra hand size here. Shortcut, of course, very powerful. Those are the things that enable me to play more straights. If I play more straights, then that means more points. Twice as many straights, twice as many points. Or I can use these enablers to get specific straights. So if I know I need exactly 2 glass cards, then all I have to do is find 2 glass cards. Or maybe I can play 2 straights instead, which cumulatively adds up to however many points that I need. And then also then it makes it easier to get the blue seal value if you have a good understanding, like, okay, I know this hand is going to score. Now let's go fish. Anyway, I thought this was a pretty fun seed. Once again, as suggested, jokers that maybe we don't normally get to use. Take care, everyone.